welcome to Flowing Through Film. I am your host Blake, and this week we are doing a break episode where we are choosing our favorite losers in cinema, I think. Favorite slash best slash top 10.
Is it favorite or best?
I guess it's whatever you want, but I'm, like I said, I'm Blake, and my co-hosts are Luke.
Oh, hello.
And Danny.
Hello.
And this draft is gonna, or it's not.
First of all, we have to point out while Blake always whispers the intro.
I do not whisper the intro.
Look, the sound draft is proved. That's why I had to point it out. Because you always make me nervous that the mic is doing something weird, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, he's talking normal now. So it's like
I'm giving him the Orson Welles
bro's giving us the ASMR intro.
Yeah, exactly.
He's trying to soothe us into it.
Exactly. I was like, we can't let this pass.
He's whispering, bro.
Because I thought it was my mic. I was like, do we have to stop for a second? And then it went to normal. I was like,
okay, calm down. But yeah, this week we were doing
there we go.
Our favorite losers in cinema,
or best,
or best,
or most interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
we're doing this list kind of how we did our last one, which was the duos list, where we're just gonna be like kind of listing some of our honorable mentions, and then we all have a top 3. Those will be making it on the list, and then we'll have one left over. Preferably, if we have any duplicates, then we'll have more that we have to choose from, obviously. But I mean, who wants to kick it off? I feel like it's pretty self. Or Dan, do you want to give? Do you want to go over what do you think a loser is?
That's what we need to define.
Wait, did you explain how we have 3 or whatever?
Yeah,
we're coming up with a consensus top 10.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, I couldn't remember.
I went over that just a second ago.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was distracted.
No, you're good. No,
well, we should start with though.
Yeah, what do we define as a loser? So I guess I can start with my basic definition. As I was going through my Letterboxd diary, I was basically thinking, if I thought in my head, this person's pathetic.
Pathetic.
There are other losers I have on here too. There are some lovable losers, I would say, that I have on here, and some that I think that the directors also love, kind of the loser, maybe the loser aspects in them, but I think the vast majority of mine are characters that the director probably hates as well, and that's why they're also losers. They're really good at filming them as losers, but basically that's why if I thought that they were pathetic, they probably made it on this list. But
yeah.
What about you, Luke? What
I kind of just honestly more just if I thought they were lame, basically, but I feel like it's a bit of a broad.
So if you thought they were lame,
or I thought some aspect about them was lame, maybe. See, there's still things I maybe aren't lame about them, or that I still thought they were cool in some way, maybe. But they
are you including movies that start out with the character as a loser, but they kind of overcome that loser aspect?
I think
I have that in my notes too.
Because I don't really have any of those people on here.
I think I do actually. Actually, yeah, I think I do.
Because
I'm
gonna be open and honest. I think The Tramp could be considered a loser in a lot of his movies.
No, I have.
But I'm not putting any of. I don't know if I'm gonna have him on my list.
I have him on
because I don't think he is a loser.
Okay,
well, he kind of is.
Well, let me go.
It's kind of
because I've actually this is something similar to what I'm always thinking about in terms of identification in cinema, or I always talk about objective cameras and stuff. And we're definitely gonna talk about Revette coming up. But this is related to that in terms of basically what is a loser on screen, because Blake brought this up in terms of so you first you maybe have some examples that the director loves.
Yeah.
But then most of them are the director hates. But then you kind of mentioned maybe he's good at filming them. So does that mean the director loves them? That's one thing. Because this is probably better ways to expand this, but I was thinking about this and in my head was there's basically 3 types of on-screen losers that I came up with. And first you have to think about it how I always think about film, where there's basically 2 types of films going on. There's the film that's happening on screen, which is the narrative or plot. But then there's also the audience film. It's how the audience is supposed to interpret this kind of narrative or plot. And so that's how I'm going to approach these 3 types of film losers. So the first is he or she is a loser on screen, but I'm putting it just to make it simpler, a winner off screen. which means they're a loser on screen, but audience-wise, we like them. Or director likes them.
They're a winner
They're a winner off screen.
I see.
And that, to me, that's the tramp. That's the number one.
Yeah.
Like, the best example of that. But I have some other examples, too, that I meant to mention on the list. I'm going to have one of each category, basically. Okay. That's another way I did it. And so, like, a typical, like, classic example would be, like, a nerdy type. Like a Spider-Man or whatever, or Peter Parker type.
Like a Jerry Lewis.
Yeah. Oh, actually, Jerry Lewis is another good one.
Yeah, Jerry Lewis is
because then I was thinking more Spider-Man might maybe be a good example, because this is more like conventional cinema, like a Spider-Man, or basically the heroic journey. Does that count?
Yeah.
Like a Kung Fu Panda, where he's a loser at the beginning, because that was one of my lists. Then I was like, but he's not really a loser at the end.
Lives his dad.
He literally is like a hero at the end. They're making action figures for him, so he's actually.
That's why I asked, does that count?
Yeah,
like the journey.
I was like,
he overcomes the. I guess, yeah.
Because they are losers at the beginning. Like the vast majority, like even Kung Fu films I love, they're losers for a lot of the movie. But
no, but at the end when they become a winner, is it only to the screen, off screen, like the tramp? He's the best example of this.
Yeah.
But he's still kind of a loser on the screen at the end, for the most part.
I just realized one of my three actually is like this to a T. But like, I guess I'll talk.
Okay, let me give my
second.
My second category is, they're a winner on screen, but loser off screen. But they're a loser off screen.
I have a lot of these ones. I've seen these ones.
Yes, and that one's almost exact. Like they're like in a conventional cinema, they'd be like the jock type.
No, I know.
Where all like everyone loves them on screen, but we're supposed to hate them off screen. You know, they're a jerk off screen.
Or like the way the filmmaker's treating them.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
There's one.
There's actually some fun examples.
Barry Lyndon.
Hey, don't give away all the fucking.
Actually, I don't know. He's kind of a loser on screen.
No, he's a loser on screen.
That's the thing.
But don't give away all the people.
He thinks he's a winner, though. He thinks he's a winner.
But I don't know if the movie thinks he's a winner, though. Like,
no, I'm saying the movie doesn't think he is.
No, but I'm saying there are movies where they're a winner on screen too.
Like they're getting all the girls and shit.
They're getting all the girls. That's the classic.
The first half of Barry Lyndon. Because even
I think the whole point of Barry Lyndon is he's a loser the whole time.
Even Ryan O'Neal though, he like thought he was playing like a really cool character, and then.
But that's actually a great point. Is like he thinks he is.
Yeah.
That's what makes him even more of a loser, even on screen too. Is like he doesn't realize.
No, I definitely see him as a loser on screen.
But I'm saying more like typical, like the jock is like, oh, everyone loves them even on screen, but we're supposed to hate them off screen. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
That's like a loser off screen. I don't know. We might have less of those, but I think there's some great ones of those too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save to mention. And then the last one. This is like the easiest one, but also maybe some fun ones too. Is both. They're a loser on screen and a loser off screen. And this is kind of classic, more maybe the pathetic character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those,
like you're not supposed to empathize in it with.
Yeah, but the people, but they're also losers on the screen as well.
Yeah.
Like that's what the kind of movie's about.
And most get out like their faults, basically.
Yeah, their faults or their fall or whatever.
Yeah.
You know. Honestly, I think all three. There's probably more ways you can think of it, but that's kind of how it's in terms of like if you think of the two different ways, because if this actually splits into 4 categories, but the last one is both winner off screen and on screen. So I was like, we're doing a losers one. Yeah. But you could think of that as well. That's just the typical hero.
That's the typical hero. Yeah.
They're a hero from the whole time. You know, there's not even
actually I feel like most hero stories are the loser to hero arc. The zero to hero or whatever it's called, like that arc.
But part of it is like how much of a zero are they? Really?
That's true too. Yeah.
Or is it just like one quick scene?
Because like another one I'm probably
it's like they wear glasses.
Yeah, they wear glasses. I'm like I have like examples of like they get it beat up by the bully or something. They spill their lunch in the cafeteria.
It's like the first. It's like the first like 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's not that long usually.
Yeah.
Well, something they stutter while they're talking to a girl or something. Like.
Yeah. That's fair though. I'm just
kidding. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, it's something that doesn't make you a loser.
No, something I might not have on my list though is like the characters that are good, but the movie doesn't think they are. Basically, like Buster Keaton does this a lot, where it's like his character is the zero in quotation marks, where he's really not. He's doing everything like really well.
Yes, and honestly,
but just no one else is seeing it. So
yes, that's definitely the tramp kind of archetype. Yeah. Huh. I wonder if that's a silent cinema thing too, or like.
I feel like it's
I don't know, but I think honestly, you guys might have better example of all threes than I do, but I think I have some good ones.
Okay. I'll try and place some of these when I name them.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna try to place them. So how are we gonna list them first? Just like
we'll just kind of go around and
Yeah,
start
go around.
naming some stuff.
Not in order, obviously. These are basically all honorable mentions. So I guess I can start. I mean, I'll get kicked off here with every character in the discreet charm of the bourgeoisie.
A lot of Boomwell characters in this one.
There will be, yes, but that one of the first things that came to my mind, I think, whenever I brought up this topic for the podcast was Boonwell, because I remember us saying many times in his movies how he hates his characters and they all suck, and they're all pathetic.
Yeah.
So this is a classic loser on screen and loser off screen. Right.
But they also think they're winners. So
yes, that's why I was having the problem with you with Barry Lyndon.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, it's still in the movie's context. They're still kind of actually, I don't know, discreet charm. The movie kind of treats them as winners too.
Does it?
They're all politicians. They're all like successful people in the movie.
But it's all about how they suck, though.
But it's kind of the whole world is like that's why they're rewarded because the whole world sucks in a way, you know. That's all.
True.
That's Boonwell's. And the reason I bring this up is because actually I don't think I'm going to pick this one for Boonwell, so I'll say it now. Is one of my movies was Illusion Travels by Streetcar, because that's a classic loser on screen. But we actually like them. It's like one of the few movies where we're like sympathetic for Boonwell's characters in a way. So they're kind of like winners off screen. You know, we're actually kind of rooting for them and we like them.
Yeah.
But in the movie's context, they're kind of losers. You know. But so does that actually qualify as a loser? Because
does it? I don't know.
That's why I was.
I don't have very many of those on my list. That's all.
Okay, that's because I think the Tramp is a great example.
Yeah,
because no one can deny he's a loser. That's why he's the Tramp.
Yeah.
But he's also.
Which version of the Tramp would you say like, or is there like?
That's why I couldn't say. That's why I couldn't pick a movie because it literally is the Tramp. It's like he transcends just any one of his movies. But honestly, I would have to pick one of the Shores probably. When he's at his most loserish, like the early Shores, when he's kind of like evil in a way.
I kind of like City Lights too.
Some of the earlier Shores, he's like more evil, and he gets like more. He gets more normal.
I love City Lights, where like one of his introductions though is like him like picking up like someone's thrown cigarette on the ground, or whatever, like
and smoking.
It's like damn.
No, he's always great. But
yeah, love that little guy.
I feel like he's more meaner in some of the earlier ones.
You like that more? Like he's more unhinged, like evil Tramp.
Yeah.
I guess I can name. I say my first one that like first came to mind, or one of the first ones that came to mind was McCabe from McCabe Mrs. Miller.
I have him on my list as well.
He's kind of like the loser on.
He's got the Barry Lyndon vibe to me. Actually.
I guess actually that makes sense. Yeah,
he does.
Like the way like.
But see, he's more likable than Barry Lyndon at the very least. I think
he has a likable quality to him. Although like he definitely is like.
He's definitely a loser.
Really,
I have him.
He definitely doesn't know how dumb he is. He thinks he's smarter than he is, and then like, especially on rewatch when you like see his like downfall, basically.
Well, and it's just like because he's bad as like this pimp and whatever, and he's also like a terrible cowboy. Like he's a loser.
And a terrible like capitalist too. Like
he is. It's like
he got out capital, bro. Like damn, it's crazy.
That one's a great pick. I'm gonna go with a classic one for me. Honestly, I was struggling on who I was gonna choose from The Big Lebowski because I didn't want to choose Lebowski because he's not a loser to me. He's awesome. So I'm gonna go with John Goodman's character in The Big Lebowski. If anyone remembers him, he's just the bowling guy that just like only cares about Vietnam. Obviously, like this dude's a full-on loser.
Yes. Is he a winner off screen? That's where he's the borderline where the audience definitely likes him, but they might still think he's a loser though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like that's me. Like I like him, but he's definitely a loser.
A loser on both.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. For one, because we did this last week, The Music Room. To me, that was a classic pathetic character where they're like both a loser off screen and on screen.
Saiji Ray has a lot of the ones that
the
I
more
would
tragic
consider
losers.
Like it's the opposite of Boonwell, I think, where it's like he also knows they're losers, but he treats them a little bit better. Like he's more sympathetic to them. So
the reason why I picked The Music Room though is because he's the least sympathetic to this one to me.
That's true.
Because we even talked about it last week compared to the chess players, you know, where he's at least a little more. They're still losers, but like he likes them at least. But yeah, actually, Okay, actually, I'll say another one that's loser on screen, off screen, because I think this is like one of the maybe classic best example is Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like where everyone's seen that one, where he's like just a classic loser, you know. But that's like what makes cinema interesting too, where you're like, yeah, he's a loser in every sense, but you still want to watch the movie.
No, yeah.
You know, where like
Scorsese, I guess, has a lot of
like if you're like watching
characters.
sports, like oh yeah, you don't want to watch like you want to.
Yeah.
You don't sell sports that way, you know. The same way you want like you want to watch this loser for 90 minutes.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, Scorsese had you with the loser and Killers of the Flower Moon for like 4 hours.
That's true.
I think Schrader said that like criticism is like it's like a too long of a time to hang out with an idiot or something.
Yeah,
that's fair.
And this is just like maybe a Scorsese thing. Like his editing is, I mean, he gets slower. I don't know. I don't want to say anything. It's been a while.
Depends on the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I never really liked it when it came out. Just
you have no desire to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. One of the ones that was like a very lovable loser for me was Jeff McCloud from The Lusty Men.
Oh, okay.
Like kind of like the washed up Bronco rider.
Yeah.
That's also like. But at the same time, it's kind of like he has this like whole arc where he like dies basically.
See, I didn't consider him a loser. I actually have Wes Merritt.
He's like a penniless, like washed up Bronco rider. Like the whole point of the movie is like basically he's like washed
but he's
up.
learned from his mistakes, and he's trying to pass it on to the next.
Did he though? He literally died by like literally going back to the fucking thing.
But he's doing that for Wes, the true loser in the movie, who needs this death, who needs his death
Jeff
to
McCall,
actually see it. So.
Jeff McCall's like, in a way, it's like he just like so like you know he's a loser in a lovable way. I guess they're both kind of losers.
They are losers because I had Wes Merritt. So
okay.
Wait, which one did you pick? Sorry,
the Robert Mitchum, Jeff McCloud, the Robert Mitchum one,
and the Lusty Man.
Oh, the Lusty Man. Okay, sorry, I don't remember. Okay.
No, I'm
Okay,
I probably should say the actor as well.
Yes, Lusty Man.
Yeah. That was one that definitely came to mind for me.
I don't know.
See,
I'm not allowing that.
How is he not a loser? How's he not a loser? Please explain.
Because he's just really cool on screen.
Because he's
really
Robert
cool
Mitchum.
off screen.
Because he's Robert Mitchum, man.
That's what I'm saying. He's lovable as a loser, but like in the movie sense, he's the loser on screen.
Is he a loser? Everyone loves him. Like even like that's Jeff McCloud. He's a great rodeo back.
He was a great rodeo. He's like,
but still people.
He's like
cool even at the time. Like oh,
I mean, I won't,
like Jeff's coaching you. Like they're like all excited about.
But also people like don't like him at the same time.
Which person? Like only the women really don't like him. But that's also kind of cool too. Like of course he has all these women that don't like him.
Like damn, bro.
It's kind of prove me wrong. He's so cool.
But he's still kind of a loser though.
Okay, so you're saying he's a loser on screen, but winner off screen.
Kind of, yeah, basically.
And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, he's basically a winner. I'm saying he's a winner.
I guess like situationally, like.
Yeah. I can see what you're saying.
He's in a bad position.
This is a tough position because the washed up hero is a borderline. Cause
he he blew all his money too. Yeah. Like.
But that's also what makes him.
And
then
cool. he goes back.
That's what makes him so cool, though. That's why I love him.
He's like trapped in this. I mean, I love him too. Yeah. He's like a lovable loser.
And what that makes it a little different is he loves himself. At the end of the day, like he kind of hates it. He likes to say that he doesn't like himself, but at the end of the day, I think he likes himself.
I don't know.
That's why I don't know if he sees himself as a loser. You know.
I think he sees himself as somewhat of a loser, though.
Okay. All right. That was an interesting one. We'll
allow it. We will allow it.
I already said that I would have chosen Wes Merritt.
See, but like,
just
in my I think Wes Merritt is actually a better case. Yeah.
They're both like good examples. I
think wanted to get a Robert Mitchum. Yes, but see, that's like,
hard. It's hard. Why? Robert Mitchum's too cool.
Yeah, the fact that you're so excited to get a cool person in here is like that's what makes
he's a cool like loser. Like,
is there gonna be an Elliot Gould in here somewhere?
No, I didn't put
okay. He's way too.
Okay, let me do a classic loser off script to cleanse our palate from the main character in Getting Any.
Yes, sir.
Loser on screen, loser off screen.
Oh, I thought you were saying he's like.
I will not say anything.
No.
I won't say.
If we want one of those, Kung Fu Panda, I was saying maybe.
Okay.
But he said that the other day he's kind of a winner on screen too. That's on like maybe. I guess since I'm not picking this,
even though he kind of like.
What about What Time Is It There?
Who's the loser? Wait, who's the loser?
The Lee Kong Shank's character.
He's not a loser. Sai has too much love. Sai has too much love for Kong.
No, but he's a winner off screen. But he's definitely a loser in the movie's context.
Well, he's just like depressed, man. His dad died.
There's a different side movie.
I didn't have any side characters.
I knew you were. No. But still, there's high films losers.
Li Kang-sheng and Viva L'Amour was on my list.
It's different though.
In Viva L'Amour,
yeah, because that's why I have this category where they're a loser on screen.
They're
No,
lonely,
but they're
depressed
winners off
guys,
screen.
man. They're lonely, depressed people.
No,
That's
Li
not
Kang-sheng and Viva
losers.
L'Amour though is like actually like the one that came to mind for me from Size Films.
Okay.
Because of like how like he's sharing the apartment.
I'm willing to change that to be.
I'm willing to
and
change
he's
that.
like
But actually, What Time Is It There is my favorite. That's why I picked it.
he's more pathetic in Viva L'Amour.
Maybe Goodbye Dragon Inn too.
Because like he like steals.
There's no pathetic.
There's not really any.
There's
If
no
you watch movies, you're pathetic. And if you're listening to this podcast, it's even worse.
If you like King Hu, you're pathetic.
No, that's like damn. Yeah, no. No, because we just watched Body Double. I was like, that movie might be a kind of movie about that too.
The movie
The
screen
the
is the loser.
Well, because we were talking
Closing
how
down.
the directors like compare because with the Hitchcock connection comparing voyeurism to film watchers and stuff. So that's what I was saying. We're all losers.
Damn. Tough pill to swallow.
But we're winners off screen. No. Okay. What else? Okay. Let me. So for winner on screen, loser off screen.
Winner on screen.
I'm surprised you didn't have some more. Because to me, these are some of your favorite ones.
Wait, say that again. Say
where they're a winner on screen,
winner on screen,
but a loser off screen as we watch them.
I have one
so
huge
Fellini,
one.
to me, I was thinking Fellini Heroes.
So
There's
I
definitely
have
a lot of
like 8.5 and the other one, the
Battleship,
one. Yeah. Where they're like kind of cool on screen, but they're like deep down, they're kind of losers. You're supposed to read them.
He's
as
kind of a
losers.
loser on screen with Dolce Vita though.
Yeah. I
Are they,
had
like,
him in
really
the-
like all these fucking women like always constantly wanting you like.
But like,
Oh yeah,
But
if you remember like
but
how
that's
the
what
film
I'm saying.
progresses, like.
but that's exactly what I'm saying. Where there's, but at the end, like
At the beginning, I agree with you, but then it kind of like as it goes along, it gets more and more depraved.
8.5 maybe is a little better example.
8.5 is probably a better example.
Because he's still an actor even at the end, but it's like we're supposed to read him as a loser almost.
No, yeah, I agree.
So the one that I have for that category specifically is Tim Robbins, the player.
That was my next
Like,
person.
that's a
That
good
was actually
pick.
my.
That's
That's
a
why
good
I was
pick.
also.
I
saying
love
you,
that
too.
type of loser. Also,
That was my next on my list. Is the
I love
player.
this type of loser that
Yes,
like basically
yes.
wins everything at the end of the day. Also,
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
like
Because
this is
they're
how the
supposed to
system
fall,
works, man.
but yeah, that's why there's a Boonwellian. That's why I was saying the Boonwellian aspect too. The street charm is maybe like that. Because it's like that world is kind of supports this kind of person, you know.
That's true.
Would
Also, the middleman.
Okay.
These are the rig.
Yeah, that guy's definitely a loser for sure.
But he also wins at the end.
Yeah.
On screen, but like off screen, he's a loser. You know.
He wins on screen the most despicable.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes you feel so bad.
Exactly.
what would you classify? I'm curious how you would classify Bill Harford from Eyes Wide Shut, because like he's definitely like a classic.
Okay.
Damn, you just took one of my picks. So.
my bad.
No, but I'm still gonna keep it because we can.
Yeah,
talk
you've already said one of my picks too. So
Okay.
We can talk about it later.
yeah,
We can talk about it later then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
But another one I have is Citizen Kane,
that's classic.
where winner on screen, even though he kind of
he's-
has a fall.
No,
but
he definitely has a fall. That's the thing. He like dies
Yeah.
like alone in his capsule.
Yeah.
Like,
That is true.
and then like he like like bad things keep happening to him.
That is true.
I mean, he has some successes, but then like quite a
He has a lot of success.
kind of a sad ending.
It
yeah.
is. It is. It is.
It's
It's less. It's more of the opposite heroic journey, a heroic fall, maybe.
Yeah, I have a good one that's like kind of a small character, because I had trouble kind of thinking about like I feel like most of mine are like more main characters. So I have one that's kind of like a more side character, even though it's kind of from an anthology film. So I guess it kind of barely counts. But the old guy with the mask from Les Plaisirs, like the first segment where he's like dancing.
Oh wait, so what is
He's like the old guy that dressed like that has like the
Yes,
young guy mask on,
yes,
and like he's like
yes.
dancing or whatever.
No, I was honestly trying to get Ruffles in there, but
and then he like passes out or whatever.
actually, now that we're thinking about it, the other guy in Late Plays Here too, the guy that drives all the women.
Oh yeah, him, yeah, yeah, that's a good. Damn, yeah.
Honestly, he might be a loser on and off screen, but I still love him.
No, yeah,
He's like
for
the
sure.
one he mentioned
when he like runs
like
after the
last
train
season.
and then like he like
Yeah, because
and he like walks back all slow like. But no,
okay, we gotta explain it to the people who haven't seen it. So this guy is like
me. No.
well, the movie's called The Pleasures.
yeah.
So one of the episodes is these like group of women that live in a brothel.
They're prostitutes.
They're prostitutes. What's it like a fancy brothel though?
It's called a brothel.
Yeah,
It's a brothel.
brothel, I guess. Yeah, but it's like a really nice one. It's run by this.
The woman that runs it brings them to the countryside to meet her brother.
To meet her brother, and she brings all the women with her because like for a vacation and stuff. So there's like a great scene of all the men that are like coming to like visit the women. Like they don't know that they're going on vacation and stuff. They're like at the door, like oh man and stuff. But,
it's like a night out with them at the same time.
No, okay, yeah, but anyway, so it follows the women on the train. Then once they meet the guy, this is where we meet the loser because it's like he's like just so excited to like have all like you have to imagine from his perspective. It's like he just lives in the country by himself, and all of a sudden he's like amazing, like gorgeous women are like all here to like come to stay at his house.
Yeah.
And he's like so excited to like drive them all, and his like sister's like getting mad at him and stuff, helping them one by one. And stuff. No, and then like when they leave too is like the best thing because like he takes them back and he's like all depressed and stuff.
He like runs after the train.
Yeah, he runs after the train. And then he's like has his like slow walk back.
It's so funny.
He has to go back to his like lonely house. Again.
Yeah. No, but then the one I was talking about was like the first one. Like it's like an old guy. You just get thrown into this old guy like wearing a mask basically. He's like dancing. It's like so. I love the scene so because like it's just him dancing, like enjoying it. But then like he like faints and then they like discover he's like an old man trying to like be young or whatever.
And because Godard uses this at the end of is it the Image book? That's on like
it's something. Yeah, I think it's the Image book.
That's why I was like I might have to just give it a higher rating just because of that.
Yeah.
Because Godard is basically saying he's like calling himself that old guy.
Yeah, like
who's like still dancing with the mask. It's just oh my god, it's like the perfect use for Godard to use that.
Yeah, Late Place here is amazing.
Damn.
Shit.
Honestly, like that's how I know it's a great movie because I just remember every episode like so well.
No, yeah.
Like when you describe them.
Damn. Very
but maybe not even his best one.
I think it might be my favorite.
Le Ronde.
Oh, actually, Letter from an Unknown Woman has a good. The main guy in Letter from an Unknown Woman.
That's true. Okay,
like
he's more of a tragic. Is he a winner on screen or a loser on screen?
Like for the most part, he's a winner until he like fumbles the bag.
Yeah.
Or he realizes he fumbles the bag.
So this is like a Citizen Kane kind of a heroic.
And then like I guess he finally accepts he like goes and attends the duel at the end.
Yeah.
I just spoiled the movie, or I guess like.
I mean, we were kind of spoiling. These aren't spoilers.
Yeah, it's like who cares?
The fucking beginning of the movie is the spoiler.
Yeah, I guess.
It starts in a flashback. Well.
Damn, yeah. Do you have any, Blake?
Oh yeah, I got more for sure.
Yeah.
I have a classic one for me because I still remember saying how much this guy sucked on the podcast whenever we did it. But Oliver Reed and Cat People, the main guy, that basically just ignores this woman that he's married, like that he's supposedly supposed to be married to or whatever the entire time, and is just going after his like wife. Like
that shit is so hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Like
this guy sucks.
Yeah. Damn, that's a good one.
And where would Peter Fall go in your little categorization, and Woman Under the Influence specifically? Because I do think he's one of these loser characters for sure.
See, I don't think Cassavetes would agree with you. That's not.
You don't think so?
Cassavetes like liked him basically. Like, see, the thing is, people's reads on the movie and Cassavetes' read on the movie is so different. It's like it's tough to say. Because like the main loser I had from a Cassavetes movie would actually I had two. First of all, Robert Harmon from Love Streams.
Okay.
He's just a classic, like kind of a loser. Doesn't really. It's like hard to know. You don't really like know if he ever like learns his lesson at all. But then also, I guess maybe even more of one is Cosmo Vitelli.
I did not put Cosmo on here because I think he's a winner.
No, he's a loser. He's a loser on screen, winner off screen.
Yeah,
I think he's one of that class.
Because like he's getting more and more into like more and more shit. But like you still love him along the way because
he loves his girls.
So now that you remember me, Uncut Gems.
Oh,
no,
that's
on
definitely
my list.
that's
That's
definitely
on
on my list
too. Yeah, it's a classic one.
It's like,
He's definitely the same thing as Cosmo. Like
that's not tradition.
Loser on screen, winner off screen for sure.
See, that's what I was saying. You love that.
Yeah.
That archetype.
No, there's definitely lots of like.
Maybe the former winner on screen, but now they're a loser on screen. But they have the kind of winner, kind of vibes about them. So that's why it's complicated. That's why I was saying the washed up vet or like the. That's why people love like I saw this tweet where it's like I'll watch anything where it's like, or they said it was something like I love it when there's a guy with one last mission or something like that where they have to come back. It's like it's just a good. People love that where it's
I can get behind
where it's like see that's what I don't know. There's something to that where people love watching a loser on screen, but they like adding like the winner parts to it. As we're watching. It's like we get it, but the people in the movie don't get it really. Maybe there's something to that.
Yeah.
Everything else I have is like... Okay, I guess another one I have is for loser on screen, winner off screen is Four Nights of a Dreamer.
I was really about to say, do you have any Brisson ones? And I really have that one on here.
Okay, Four Nights of a Dreamer.
It, yeah.
That's I think he's definitely a loser on the screen.
No, for sure.
But then he's... This is a borderline where he might be a loser off screen, but Brisson has a few of these where like I can't tell.
Yeah, you like him too much. I feel like.
But at the same time, he's still.
He's just an artist at the end of the day. I guess.
Yeah, but Brisson is still like he might think artists are losers, but like he is one kind of.
Yeah. very self-confessional.
Yeah. Because another one, actually, I have like 3 Brisson on here for each like category. But I might pick one for another one. So the one I'm not going to pick is for winner on screen, but loser off screen, is The Devil Probably.
Okay.
Where he's like,
loser off screen, interesting. I don't find him a loser. The main guy?
Yeah.
I don't find him a loser.
In some ways he's not, but in some ways he definitely is,
He's hopeless, but I don't think he's like a loser.
I mean, that's fair. It depends on like how much you think it's because of him or just because of society.
Exactly, yeah.
To me, I find him kind of a loser because he doesn't fight back. Like, like compared to someone like Mouchette, where I don't know, I think he's more like I don't know, but yeah,
I mean,
you might be
Mouchette's
right.
definitely not a loser.
Some people loved him. Like, I can see why like people just relate to him in general. But
this is another one of those like kind of like depressed boys where I'm like kind of disagreeing with you about Kong. Like I don't know, they aren't losers. They're just depressed.
No, that's fair.
I guess something else I need to mention, since I'm not going to have a John Woo on any of my 3, is I feel like he doesn't have a lot of losers because his main characters, while they
wasn't the guy in the Bear Tomorrow,
they could be considered losers in
like,
society's point of view.
He really becomes a loser.
They can be seen as losers in society's point of view, but I don't consider them losers at all, except for Wisely and Bull in the Head. This dude is everything John Woo hates. Which one he's the one that betrays his friends. This is like the everything John Woo hates, basically, in like one character, and that's how you know he's a loser. He's like the biggest loser in like John Woo's movies, I think, honestly. But and then I did rewatch Unstoppable today, and I did have to put Dewey on here. Classic real life example of just
Dewey
stupidity. the guy that let the train go at the very beginning, the fat guy.
Oh, okay, he's like not a main character. Okay,
no, he's not. No, this is a side character.
Fair.
This is a side
if
character.
you're just thinking of like pure losers on screen,
it's a classic.
Because everything about this guy screams loser on screen. So but.
No, because I was thinking if you're like in terms of pure losers, like a loser on screen and a loser off screen, it's definitely in film history. There's so many of these like comedic clowns, they're kind of like if there's like a hot person, Hollywood has all these. Like if there's a hot person, their friend is going to be the ugly kind of comedic person, where they're supposed to be the loser. That's their role. A lot of times they're minority characters. Especially in film history, but I'm just saying these are like literal. Like that's why if someone's like a loser on film, like these literally get cast as certain types. Of movies, That's why I was like trying to make it a little more interesting. Like that's why it's more interesting as main characters, because then you're like, normally when you think of a main character, we're supposed to be rooting for them. No, so that's why it makes this list interesting in the first place. Is like movies about losers are more. I guess just makes it more outside of the norm in general. But okay. Should we start?
I can. Let me run through some.
Okay, run
a
through.
Few. I'll rapid fire
I've said
some of these. George Amberson from the Magnificent Ambersons, just pure like. This guy's a fucking loser.
I am saving a couple, I guess, for our last one, since we already have to choose one last one.
Okay, yeah.
No, I've saved one from each.
Ethan Edwards from The Searchers, Major Brand from Bitter Victory.
Ethan Edwards is a really good one. Honestly.
No, he's like pure like. I guess kind of winner on screen, but then like pure loser off screen. Like you do not like the fucking guy at all.
I would almost say he's not even a winner on screen. So
yeah, like it's tough. It's like kind of not. Like he saves his niece at the end.
Yeah,
but it's like he just goes back wandering in the desert, and so it's like. But in a way, it's like Ford kind of casting him out. Like let's like go away from this guy. But then Dave Hirsch from Some Came Running, Thomas from Blow Up. Definitely.
Is he the main character?
He's a loser?
Oh, 100%.
Is he the main character in
The main
Blow Up?
character?
The main character?
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
from Blow Up, yeah.
This dude's a fucking loser.
No, for sure.
100%.
I mean, I can't...
What?
I don't know.
Blake just doesn't like the movie.
In certain ways, I like him, but like it's like for the most part,
how is he a loser?
He's so apathetic, like turns everyone away.
Cool. Like, interesting,
cool,
and mysterious, and with the wind and shit. Like, I don't know why you're hating. Like,
I can't tell if you're like being serious or not.
I'm actually surprised you picked him though, because to me he's more apathetic. I don't know why he's a loser. Like, if anything, he's kind of blank.
That's kind of why I think of him as loser. Like,
I actually do think Antonioni didn't like him. From what I remember us talking about earlier in the series, but
like, there's certain parts where I'm like, I empathize with him, but like he's definitely a loser. I feel like just like the way he treats women and stuff. Like
maybe he's the loser on screen, winner off screen.
In a way, yeah.
But you just don't even like. You were saying you don't even like him off screen,
but yeah.
Okay, the women part. Of course, you had to bring that part up, like making me look bad.
You're like, I love it. Go this guy. Let's go. The one that both of you haven't seen, but like I feel like a lot of people would immediately jump to this character is the main guy in The Conformist, because he's like a big fascist guy that kind of like he's like such a loser in the movie. Like a big part of the movie is just like how much of a loser he is, but also like you hate him at the same time because he's like selling his soul to like to be a fascist or whatever. Jacques from or no, actually I said that. Jean from We Won't Grow Old Together. Roger Willoughby from Man's Favorite Sport, which is like a Hawks movie, and it's basically this world renowned fisherman guy who like runs this fisherman shop, like sells all the best bait, gives all the tips to all the top fishermen, and then but he's never fished it before in his life, and so then basically like his like shop unknowingly signs him up for some like fishing competition, and it's like so funny. It's a great film. Both of the main characters from Bay of Angels, CC Baxter from The Apartment. That's basically, I think, about it for me. So do you want to do
we can get into our top three, I guess.
Yeah.
These ones will all go on the list, obviously, on our canonized list. So
right.
I guess I can start because you already said one of mine. I think Barry Lyndon has to go on this list, so I have him at number 3 because classic example of the loser. Probably one of my favorite losers, honestly, if I'm being honest, in cinema. So mostly because, I mean, we've talked about Barry Lyndon. I feel, well, actually, no, you weren't even on that podcast.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
It was a while ago. We should honestly maybe do it again, but no, like, just the loser vibes you get from this man who thinks, like you already said earlier, he thinks he's kind of cooler than he is, especially in the first half, but the realization towards the later half that he's not as cool as he is also really fun to watch, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has to be on this list, so.
Okay. Danny?
Okay, so my first one, I'll do loser on screen. Actually, the one that already got picked, winner on screen, loser off screen, is Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, Bill Harper.
There you go.
Yeah.
To Kubrick.
Yeah. To me, he's like a winner on screen. Like, he has all the success, literally. The kind of fleeting archetype.
Beautiful wife, like.
Yeah, the fleeting archetype.
Like, he has like the ideal American life, you could say.
Yes.
But you can only think about how she fucked a sailor, maybe.
And like, yeah, it has an existential crisis, basically. Like,
yes.
And like, can't get laid, basically, the whole movie. Like, you know, he's like trying to. Like,
he can't get laid at a sex party.
Yeah, like, it's crazy.
No, but yeah, I think that's a really good example.
No, it's, yeah.
Especially because the movie's about him being a loser. That's where it's more, yeah. The player's kind of interesting because, like, I don't know if the movie's actually about him being a loser. It's more about how the world accepts losers, like, basically. But
yeah.
I think both are interesting. But yeah, Eyes Wide Shut's mine.
My pick, this is kind of like, I guess this is like more the classic example of like the guy who kind of redeems himself, but I'm still going to count him because he is still a loser for a really good part of the movie, is Dude from Rio Bravo. The washed up sheriff guy. Not John Wayne's character, it's Dean Martin's character from the movie, who's like an alcoholic.
Oh.
And he's like, this whole time he's like trying to get over his demons, but he like keeps falling back into them. But then
I think he qualifies enough as a loser throughout the movie. I'll give you
that's what, because like it's a good amount.
The singing, his voice alone is so good that it's hard for me.
See but see, I love that sequence so much because like he's like such a drunk, and then like he like tries to get off of it, but then he's like he's about to like to come to it, then like you remember the moment where like they hear them playing like the Alamo music, and he's like has that great moment where he's like actually I realized like like kind of has this like realization, I guess, and then like the next scene is like them doing the
Yeah.
My Riff My Pony.
Even Hawks has some good moments in him.
Of course, yeah, he's a master, bro. Like, shit.
No, that is a good. That's why I'm like, just because that voice, like, can he really be a loser? You know. But he is a loser.
He's for sure a loser. Like he just like in multiple.
But that's a classic loser on-screen winner. But see, this is also another example of like the washed up thing I was talking about, where you just like we know formally he was probably even a he was.
It's just so funny, like how like he even like has a mini win at the like middle of the movie where he's like he gets like clean shaven, he has like a new outfit, and then literally very next scene he gets like dunked in the water and like taken hostage. Like, cause he's like admiring himself in the water or whatever, and then like immediately the guys just like come by and like immediately take him away. It's so funny. It's also but he's also so lovable. Like that's why I guess it's like
I'll give you that.
I like, was drawn to him.
That's a good pick.
Alright, Blake.
Alright, so my next one also already mentioned. I think Danny might have put it in the loser category. I think it's a little bit weirder though because it's gonna be Donkin from Getting Any, the main character in Getting Any. He's definitely a loser on and off screen. Like, we all realize it, but we still love him. Katana, I think, still loves him also. So it's like, I think Katana loves him. Yes, I do think he does.
It's more like
because this is just like movie fans, man. Like this is what I like. Katana knows this, and I think he loves this about this character too. Like this is just like how we are basically as movie fans. So
yes.
But I feel like he has to be on this list for sure. So,
but is it like does Vertigo? This is what I was like. Does Hitchcock like his fans?
Hitchcock.
To me, in a way, he almost kind of hates like movie fans. Like he's like kind of calling purpose, you know, lawyers or whatever. But it's like he's calling himself one, maybe too.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
But is that saying he loves them?
Yes.
It's interesting. I don't know. But that's the sick thing of cinema, you know. We love losers.
We do.
Yeah.
But does that make them winners or not? I don't know. That's
the question.
That's the
because
question.
That's why I was like, it's a weird one because he definitely is a loser. But
you have to say that, you know. Like that's what I'm saying. It's an interesting dynamic there.
Yeah.
Luke was like, yeah, I don't even remember that movie. That master Getting Any.
Oh. It's like Anyway, carrying on.
The masterpiece.
Yes.
It'll be remembered like that someday, trust me.
Someday.
By you guys, maybe.
No, trust me. More than when comedy. I mean, comedy's already dead, but like, what's the last good film? Okay, well, that's a different episode.
Yeah.
If we had to do that though, like the last two good comedies that come out, we're doing that for a podcast episode.
Asteroid City.
That's not a
no.
We're not counting that. That's not really a comedy. That's like
that's like a Luke kind of reach.
Whoa, me reach? Well, no.
Luke was gonna say probably that Glenn Powell one I watched or something. The one where the girls like the next
what?
The next
in Baywatch, you said?
No, the Glenn Powell thing.
You said Night Watch?
No, I didn't say Night. I didn't say
Baywatch.
I didn't say any movie. I said the Glenn Powell
okay.
in that comedy movie.
Oh, and Anyone But You?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, that is a comedy, but yeah, Luke would say that actually.
Actually, that's a pretty good movie. Yo, we should do it for the pod. Let's go.
Okay, what's do you have
was it yours?
I mean, it doesn't matter order. Okay, my next one is loser on screen, loser off screen. This one's kind of debatable, but I really wanted to get a persona on here.
Okay.
Diary of a Country Priest.
I mean, yeah.
Is he a loser off screen? If not, I'll change my pick.
No.
That's what I'm really debating. I don't know if he's a loser off screen.
I don't know if he's a loser.
No, you kind of empathize with him. That's the thing.
Yes, but is he still a loser though?
And,
actually, I forgot to mention this at the beginning. Another way to put this is, where's the desire of the audience located in terms of identification? Do we want to identify them? Or are we just being sympathetic to them, more like a dying dog or something? You know? We're like, oh yeah, we want to hug them, we want to be next to them, but do I actually want to be them? No. Versus someone like Dean Martin is like, oh, actually, I can still see myself kind of being him, you know, just for some different decisions.
Like he's more relatable.
Yeah, like I would actually identify with him as long as I, stop drinking, I could be a better person.
You're like, it's like
versus like the
you
guy
identify with him more instead of like feeling sorry.
Versus like I don't identify with the dog when it's dying, but I want to be next to it sympathetically.
Interesting. So you see that's different.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Diary of a Country Police. Do I actually want to identify with him? Or is it like I'm actually like just sad for him, like because he's like so tortured, you know?
Damn, that's a good point.
And that's why I'm like, I don't know if he's a loser off screen or not.
Do you think that standing
versus because my other pick is this is a classic. I think a better loser on screen, loser off screen is that obscure object of desire, the main guy in that.
Yeah.
Where it's like just so clearly like
no, he's like really like
yes.
the worst one.
I had L on
that was
mine,
one of my
so.
4, so you can take that if you want.
That's one of your 4. We only have 3.
Well, I had 4 that I was trying to decide between 2, so like.
See, that's why I have 4 too. I was like,
see, that's like I feel like that's a better example.
yeah,
That's the thing. It's like he's like purely.
I wouldn't consider the priest in Diary of a Country Priest a loser. Because he stays by his values the entire time.
He does.
So.
And like
but it's like kind of like, but his values are too extreme.
And
that's why
Matthew is like
fair.
His name is Matthew. But did you mention that? His name is Matthew.
The main character's name?
No, the obscure object of desire.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
I didn't even look that up.
And like it's
so if you have 3 others or 2 others, then I can pick.
Yeah, I'd say it's just. I think it's better on the list. You know, like.
Yeah.
We'll have a Brisson on here anyway,
but like,
don't worry.
Like it's just so funny, like how pathetic he is, like basically trying to have sex this whole time, and he like, can't do it. I guess he's similar to the Eyes Wide. I think I made the connection between this and Eyes Wide Shut.
But honestly, Obscure Object Desire is also a good one to pick now that I'm thinking about it, because that was like my first thoughts of like when I have my list of like my 3 types of on-screen losers is basically where is the desire of the audience located?
Yeah,
and that's a good title. That's why I think that, because desire basically makes you a loser. That's kind of the point of the movie, you know. Like all this stuff is going around him, and it's like desire's kind of driven him almost extreme. It's similar to the death drive thing, and you were talking about. You're trying to bring with Robert Mitchum, you know. Like maybe that's like kind of what makes him a loser.
Yeah.
But that one's like different. I still think you're kind of right, but this one is like he's just so classically a loser.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
But he's got something lovable about him. Like it just, I think it's the main actor, Fernando Rey. Just,
yeah,
like,
honestly, that might probably like it's a different actor.
He's like sort of so sarcastic, you know. He's a different type.
Well, it's just like you kind of like it's just funny to laugh at him. I guess
he's a different type of lovable.
You like laughing at him, maybe. Like he's a good clown, maybe.
Yes. Honestly, yeah, that's a good way to put that. Especially because he has like. He gets clowned on at certain points too.
Oh, 100%.
It's not like the player where he's like literally winning everything, where he's still like you're like, damn, like this guy.
No,
sucks.
it's like how have you taken so many beatings and like how are you still up, bro?
Yeah.
Like how are you still up there walking? Like oh my god, like I would have.
Especially since a lot of it happens off screen too, where you're like just when they'll cut to a new location or something, and you're like. Wait, what? Like, why?
No. And the fact that it gets continuously more and more cruel. Like when he goes to that like one like strip club and like or whatever, like the dance club thing, and he like sees her, dancing with for the other guys. That's like so, and also that one too. Yeah, like it's so insane the levels it goes to. Damn. I guess I'll go to my next. You're mentioning Hitchcock earlier.
Okay.
So I feel like we have to put Scotty from Vertigo here.
I had him on my list, so
because I feel like he's just a classic. Like, I guess in the first half you're like, okay, you're like sympathizing with them, and then like the second half you're like, wait,
this guy's weird.
Something's up with this guy. I don't. And I feel like he's probably would classify him as like loser both ways. Because he doesn't. I don't think necessarily he wins at all in the movie. Like, he very clearly like fumbles the bag twice. I guess
literally.
I guess the first bag was more imaginary.
Rear Window is a similar type of character too.
Is he a loser in Rear Window though?
Yeah.
No way. Really? I actually don't agree because he's literally his girlfriend is Grace Kelly. Bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes him a loser. Is like he literally
life.
Can't see it. Like Grace Kelly.
I guess maybe that way.
Well, he's also like winning life. He's like a famous photographer.
And then they end up winning at the end.
But the loser part is like he literally doesn't realize any of it because all he's obsessed with is like looking like what's happening in his like neighbors.
But then he ended up winning at the end too. Like he ends up being.
But it's in a loserish way though. It's like the most.
I guess actually the way he falls. Yeah, actually,
it's like a really loserish way he wins.
But I feel like Scotty's like more of a classic.
Because that's the classic example of like blues. I mean, I talk about this all the time. Like because Hitchcock's such a good example of like the hero like basically losing power, kind of in the evolution of cinema. You know, it's a good way to see it.
Yeah.
And like Hitchcock's heroes are a great example of that because they almost like he literally becomes paralyzed like these big moments. You know, where, like normally a hero would overcome these big moments and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's why I think he's a great pick too.
Okay.
But yeah, you were talking about more Vertigo. Like I mean, both characters have that same moment though at the end. You know?
Yeah. I feel like it's just like
these similar like moments of paralysis.
I feel like he's just way more pathetic in Vertigo.
I think, but he's also kind of a winner in the movie too.
No,
he also has hot women all over him.
Well, it's just one. So I don't know why you said.
Isn't there one at the beginning too?
No, that's the girl that like he like used to date, but then like they're like.
But also once.
But he also roasts. He also roasts.
But also once.
Does he? I always got the. They're like more of a platonic thing. I don't know. I don't agree.
I don't know. I have to watch it again, but I don't just be like everyone wants him. But it seems like that with the way they talk to him.
I don't know. It's too like the way it ends up. It's like there's no way.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll get. It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
I think we have to pick him. Yeah.
I was just wondering if Rear Window is the same kind of thing or not. But
all right, my last pick. So the first loser that came to my mind whenever I brought this up was a Bresson character, actually. The husband in A Gentlewoman.
Oh,
this man
I don't
is
remember
so
him,
much
I'll
of
be
a
honest.
fucking loser that even the memory of his wife, his loving wife, hates him and thinks he's a loser.
Wait, what about Mikkel from Pickpocket?
Mikkel? He's not. He's too cool. That movie's too cool to be.
I don't think he's cool though. That's the thing.
That's too. Everything he's doing is cool.
I guess yeah.
but he's also a loser too.
He's very much a loser. I feel like,
especially towards the end, like after he loses his mom and stuff. But I don't know. He also ends up
wins
winning
love.
too.
Yeah, he wins love.
That's why I like L'argent better.
is he? I guess he's not really a loser because it's just more like society. Like
Yeah, that's what I was like. Yeah.
It's like he didn't really like doing anything. Okay, but yeah, like.
But yeah, the husband,
Husband,
Gentlewoman.
No, I think
I just remember this guy being just like literally the
Wait,
most.
have you seen
pathetic
Not
guy.
Sorry? Or
Still haven't seen Not Sorry
Oh,
yet.
damn.
I still need to watch that.
Oh, I watched
that. Might be a better one.
Okay.
I was actually thinking about it the other day. Like that's I actually like that more than A Gentlewoman, but
I remember you saying that whenever we did the Bresson series too.
But actually, yeah, but this one's a very good pick too.
I just remember it being like, I remember saying on the podcast, it was one of the best uses of the unreliable narrator on film that I've seen, and that's one of the main reasons why, is because like even his memory hates him basically and thinks he's a loser.
Yeah.
So
No, I think that's a really good. That's a loser both, especially like him realizing it too.
yeah, and Bresson hates this man, obviously. So.
Yes. Okay, what's my number one? It's not my number one. It's just this is my loser on screen, winner off screen, which is The Tramp is just definitely the best one ever.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just the best loser on screen too, because like he kind of fits this role perfectly of like the classic loser on screen, but then just 100% winner off screen, and but he's still a loser, you know. It's not like a fake kind of like Spider-Man kind of way or something.
Yeah.
But another, I think. Okay, I'm going with this one because to me he's still a loser on screen in terms of that's what the movie's supposed to be about, is The Flowers of St. Francis. But I don't know if...
Who, Francis?
Yeah.
Is he a loser?
Or maybe I should do like Junipero or something.
Who?
Junipero's more of a loser. Because he's the idiot, basically.
He's like the idiot
Who's Junipero?
in Flowers of St. Francis.
Oh, in Flowers of St. Francis?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking Francis because this whole thing is supposed to be about being like kind of a loser in the world's eyes, you know.
That's very true. Very true.
Now I'm thinking about it, I have to go with Junipero because I think it fits the same motto. But like, because Francis still has followers even. In the movie.
Because Junipero's kind of just a loser also. But
Yes. Okay,
but that also makes him a little bit more. He's the lovable. He's definitely more of a lovable loser though, for sure. Because he also love him too.
Yes. And he kind of has like a...
He's got that innocence about him.
Is there any other Ross Linney characters too you could add? Like
for the loser part?
I guess
I was
St.
thinking
Louis.
I was thinking Journey
Louis the
Journey
14th.
to Italy.
But I like Louis the 14th, honestly.
But he's a loser on screen, I guess.
Kind of, but we see him grow, like, early on in the movie, maybe, but we see him
Okay.
become overpowered.
But yeah, actually the husband...
I think both of them are kind of losers in Journey to Italy.
I guess, yeah, kind of. Although the husband probably more of a loser.
Yes, actually those are... I would go those, yeah.
Like, I feel like when I think of that movie, I think of the husband. I guess her, like, kind of...
I guess it probably is more.
It's definitely more the husband, though, I feel like. But... yeah, my final pick for myself will be Harry Fabian from The Night in the City. He's actually the first one I thought of, I'm not going to lie. And I know you guys haven't seen him, haven't seen the movie. But he's a classic, like... basically, like he's like this like con man who gets out of jail and like tries to start off this like brand new like wrestling thing because he has a history of like starting off a bunch of like scams and stuff and like different business ventures that eventually fail. So basically, this movie's just like him like starting this like wrestling thing, and then like you're like throughout the movie you're just like seeing him like basically like fail more and more spectacularly at it, or just like it's his downfall basically very spectacularly. And it's sort of pathetic in a way, but you do love him at the same time because he kind of like has like an excellent talent of being a con man, but like in a lovable way. Like I think in the movie someone described him as like an artist without an art. Like he's an artist, but he doesn't know con man is the way he expresses it, so he kind of does it in like an artistic way, I guess. It's kind of how I think about it. But it's you guys need to watch it. But like,
who's the director again?
Jules Dassin.
Jules Dassin.
This is like one of my favorite movies, honestly, dude. Have you seen Rafifi?
I haven't seen Rafifi yet. Like I said, I don't think I've seen any of his movies.
He's a good director. Yeah, that's like a classic one for me. So I guess we have to decide on the final one.
Yes, we do. Our 10th pick. So one I don't think I've mentioned is Holapa from Fallen Leaves, the main guy. He's kind of a loser. I like him a lot, though. He's
yes.
I like him a lot.
I was trying to go through my list, but I think I've mentioned all the ones. I'm sure there's so many, because like I said, a lot of film is about this. Or like how we define this, you know?
Yeah.
How much control the audience gets in like defining that.
So who do you guys have like a nomination? I mean, The Tramp is a good bet.
Wait, for the number one?
No,
for the last.
Honestly, I would just be okay with just picking The Tramp.
The Tramp is probably
Tramp's a classic one.
Because like that's not even picking a movie too. But like the only thing I would say is because I already picked Actually, no, I didn't pick a Tramp.
No, you didn't.
Chaplin. No, yeah, honestly, I'll be fine with that.
Or the Late Plaisir guy.
Okay, I feel like we're not gonna beat The Tramp.
Yeah, actually,
we're not gonna beat The Tramp. You know.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's too iconic. I feel
it is.
like.
Unless the players.
Tim Robbins is the only
I like the
one I
player
can
just
think
because it
of,
makes you think of like it's like the opposite. It's like the inverted one. You know.
Okay, but if we're saying The Tramp, what movie are we specifically assigning?
Well, I just like putting The Tramp because it kind of is like.
Do we want to assign a movie at all? Like,
I think Monsieur Verdoux might be the most loser.
That's not even The Tramp.
He's not even in that movie.
It's the evil Tramp. It's the evil Tramp.
No,
he says this.
No. Plus, he's not a loser on screen in Monster Verdoux. That's the whole point. He's like actually cool.
He's a
like,
Bluebeard.
He's inverted. It's actually more the player. Actually, that's like the player, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
Except for at least he kind of gets.
He dies, yeah.
But even then, he kind of dies. Like,
and that's the Tramp's death.
He at least dies with dignity and stuff.
That's the Tramp after the war. That's still a Tramp, man. Monster Verdoux is still a Tramp.
No. Okay, let me like the new janitor or something. Some deep cut.
Some deep cuts.
Sunny Side.
That's why I just like putting The Tramp.
Oh, shoulder arms maybe, because when he's like whacking people with the tree costume, like he's kind of evil in that way, I guess.
He's also like kind of good though. He's like,
I guess he's like just
taking down these German soldiers, you know.
I guess. I mean, City Lights is like a basic one.
I'm trying to think. Is he like? What's his most loser? What's his most loser like role?
I guess if we're making a letterbox list, dude.
I was just like trying to think of. It was more of like a.
I'm trying to think of what would be his most loser role.
Okay, that's why I'm looking through his list right now. Does it have to be one he directed?
You're gonna be looking for a while, though. There's a lot of stuff.
I mean,
yeah.
Well, the ones he directed is not that many.
I feel like Blake's like the expert though, and like the.
Okay, I've seen it. He's seen a lot.
Hasn't Blake seen all of them though? Like,
he's seen all 70 or whatever. 70.
See, Dan, that's a big difference. Like, shit. Maybe he knows something you got. Like,
what are the odds he picks one that I haven't seen though?
Damn, that's a challenge. That's a challenge.
I know. I have to bring up my Chaplin list now.
The Pilgrim.
Dog's Life.
When he's like trying to be like the pastor.
The thing is, I didn't have any Chaplin on my list because I was like, I love the Chaplin.
I mean,
honestly, Limelight would probably be his most loser-like role.
Actually, the Gold Rush, he's like really a loser in that one. He's like the most.
Oh, when he like becomes like capitalist too.
Because like he literally eats the booze.
Dude, what about the Pilgrim? Yeah. What about the Pilgrim though?
That's what I was like.
He's kind of cool though. He's funny though.
Danny likes a song. Danny likes a song too.
He's a big time.
I think the Gold Rush is the most classic good pick too, because he's like the most trampish.
I'm cool.
Like
he
eats the boo. You know, he's like. He's like literally kind of like literally poor a lot of the movie.
Well, I guess he did like.
But it's also like he learns to live with it.
Yeah.
Because like some of the other ones are also kind of funny. Like the Gold Rush is. It might give me to rewatch it because it's been a long time.
Honestly, I need to rewatch because I don't think
we haven't watched it since the podcast probably any of us.
4 now.
That is true. I haven't. It's not one of my 5-star Chaplins, so.
That's just because you haven't seen it enough.
Yeah, that's probably true. Because I mean, Limelight also follows this.
But he's like barely a tramp though.
No, Limelight.
No, but he's a
Limelight.
loser,
That's
I mean,
his
he's a
most
loser,
loser.
he's
That's his most loser-like role, I think. But we can definitely go with the Gold Rush.
We'll just go with the Gold Rush. It's a classic.
Why not? All right.
Episode 10.
Should we recap the list?
Honestly, A King in New York might be his actual most loser role.
I don't remember that movie. Like,
Because
Hater.
he's playing King in New
Or
York.
Countess from Hong Kong. He's barely in that movie.
I should rewatch it.
I know you guys both hate that one. His
I never- I didn't
I did not
masterpiece.
hate that
I don't
movie.
hate it.
His S tier masterpiece.
You love that
I
movie
watched that
too
so
much.
long ago.
That's
You
all
can't
I've
hold me
said.
to
That's
that.
all I've ever
It literally
said.
might have his best score, first of all. So you gotta love that.
Mr. Like, oh, the score is like too distracting.
But if the director makes the score, I'll give it a time.
All right. I mean, what? That'll wrap up
Wrap
this
it up,
week.
yes.
Do you want to go ahead and read off the list
Well,
one more time?
I'll read off ours. Each read their own three.
Okay.
Because the Gold Rush is our nominations from
Nomination
for the
for 10.
my
My
three.
Okay.
I'll just go. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Because you just told me to read it, and then you. Okay, so but then my three were The Flowers of St. Francis, Eyes Wide Shut, and Jennifer from The Flowers of St. Francis, Tom Cruise in Eyes Wide Shut, and
Bill
Fernando.
Hartford is his name. In the movie.
I knew it would become
Dr. Bill Hartford. Sorry.
And I'm glad you
Dr.
already had this other
William
movie on there
Hartford.
because I would not. There's no way I would have got the character
Matthew.
Fernando Ray in that Obscure Object of
Matthew.
Desire.
Or it's
Fernando
Matthew-
Ray. That's
Matthew-
all you
I
have.
don't know how you
It's
pronounce it.
Fernando Ray.
Fernando Ray.
I'm trying to be technical here, guys. Gosh.
Luke?
Oh, am I going? My first pick was Dude from Rio Bravo, and then I had Scotty from Vertigo, and then Harry Fabian from Night in the City.
And then mine were Barry Lyndon from Barry Lyndon, The Husband and a Gentlewoman, and Donkin and Getting Any.
Is his name Lily the husband?
I have no idea what his name is. And I don't. Donkin is not the name of the guy in Getting Any, that's the name of the actor, so.
Damn, Blade.
You're annoying Luke right now.
I'm too lazy to look at that. I'm not gonna
It's-
lie. It's like a lot of work.
Okay, his name in Getting Any is Asao.
Asao. Yeah, that's right. I remember that now. But yeah, that'll bring this week's episode to a close. Fun episode, honestly. Losers are fun. But next week, I think we are doing another FTF theory episode where we're going to be doing an Einstein essay.
Eisenstein.
Einstein. An Einstein essay.
We got
one
That's
thing.
why we're doing the episode.
An
Because a lot of people
Eisenstein
actually
essay.
confuse the two.
Einstein.
Okay, no, a lot of people don't confuse the two, but like,
Wait, though.
like if someone just like
okay.
casually, they'll probably be like, "Oh, Einstein," but like, but basically, in a way, Eisenstein is the Einstein of cinema.
He is.
Maybe even more important. No.
Okay. Let's calm down. Let's not get the science community after this. What essay are
Oh
we
no, the
exactly
physics nerds
doing?
are after us, guys. What are we gonna do? Like, shit.
What essay are we doing exactly though?
We're doing the methods of Montage.
The
The
Methods of
episode essay he wrote in 1929. I think that'll be a fun one to talk about in terms
And
of
we're pairing that, I think, with Battleship Potemkin. We
yes,
decided,
yes,
so.
yes, classic Eisenstein.
Classic Eisenstein, an amazing movie also.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking communism next week.
Hell yeah.
Can't wait.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, until next week, we hope to see you floating through the clouds.
Sun is sinking in the west. The cattle go down to the stream. The redwing settles in her nest. It's time for a cowboy to dream. Purple light in the canyon, that's where I long to be, with my three good companions, just my rifle, pony, and me. Gonna hang my sombrero on the limb of a tree. Coming home, sweetheart darling, just my rifle, pony, and me.
Whippoorwill in the willow sings a sweet melody,
Riding to
Amarillo,
Amarillo, just my rifle, pony and me.
No more cow
No more cow
to be roping.
to be roping.
No more stray
No more stray.
will I see
Round the bend,
round the bend.
she'll be waiting
She'll be waiting
for my rifle, pony, and me. For my rifle, my pony, and me.
Say, that's real pretty. Go on, play some more. Why don't you play something I can sing with you?
I wish I was an apple
That's a good one.
hanging in the tree. And every time my sweetheart passed, she'd take a bite of me. She told me that she loved me. She called me sugar plum. She threw her arms around me. I thought my time had come. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy. I'll marry you sometime. I wish I had a needle as fine as I could sew. I'd sew her in my pocket and down the road I'd go. Cindy hugged and kissed me. She wrung her hands and cried. She swore I was the prettiest thing that ever lived or died. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy. I'll marry you sometime.
That's nice. Any chance? He's better be out in the street.